Hey guys, welcome back to ArtosisCasts. Today, a couple fan favorites here once again. In the top right, we have the best PvT player in the world. It is Snow. I almost said Storm. It is Snow. And in the bottom right, a player that I've been trying to watch a bunch of games of lately. A big surprise getting into ASL. It's TY, aka Baby. This is a lot of people might be watching and not know, right? TY from StarCraft 2. He's one of the best players ever in the history of StarCraft 2. Became a commentator for GSL. He's a GSL champion. He's won lots of tournaments around the world and whatnot. Really one of the strongest players. He was one of the youngest pros ever in Brood War. Went by the name Baby. And nowadays he's playing Brood War again. Now, I don't know exactly how active he is in StarCraft 2 compared to Brood War, but he's obviously very, very active in Brood War. Excuse me. He made it into ASL, which was a big surprise. And I can't wait just to see what he does with his career, because I think he's one of the smartest pro gamers I've ever watched, that I've ever commentated. And let me talk a little bit about his style. I think I might have casted like 1 or 2 of his games here. But yeah, I've been watching a bit more. And when I saw that he had a game against Snow on Blitz Y, I thought, you know what, this is a perfect map for him, because he's kind of a harassment-based Terran. TY plays kind of similarly to Fantasy, but like maybe even more dropship-oriented, right? So he'll fly around a lot with dropships, a lot of vulture movement with that, a lot of harassment-based plays. But when I see him lose, oftentimes he just doesn't have the standing army that he needs to be able to fight against the Protoss player. So, you know, Blitz Y is a perfect map for that type of thing. There's like all sorts of really interesting terrain where you might be able to utilize a dropship with siege tanks to do some damage. Now, of course, that being said, Snow is unbelievably strong and punks most everybody, so it might just be a one-sided game. We'll see. We'll see. Snow doing some good harassment here with the probe. Gets through, and I mean, he dealt a lot of damage to some of these SCVs in here. There was some repairing from TY, a very annoying situation. In the meantime, no Zealot or anything. Snow just teching up normally. TY getting his factory down with a reasonable time, considering the amount of harassment that occurred to him. And with the Marine, of course, chasing that probe away. You know, that's one of the very annoying things when the probe gets there so early. It can actually cause so much damage. Much more lost mining time for Terran than for the probe leaving the base oftentimes. Because you have to take an extra SCV off, and then you have to decide, am I scouting or not? And then you have to start repairing, and, you know, it becomes really, really annoying. But anyways, the probe does continue to be alive and poke in and out. The 2 Marines going to try to keep it back. Nexus going up here for Snow. No unit as of yet. Okay. So a second Dragoon comes, or it gets started at least. No range, so he might just go directly up into his Robo, which is a very common thing for Snow. Vulture expansion here for TY. Sends his 3 Marines up. 3 Marines do about equally trade with 1 unranged Dragoon. He did have this one freeze. If you tell units to attack something and it's max range from them, with Dragoons and Marines, they will freeze. So you see that sometimes where a unit won't move. That's exactly why. Now, the Dragoon, actually, that was very, very good micro, and TY did have to pull back. He did not micro perfectly there. You basically have to micro perfectly to make the trade even from the 3 Marines against the 1 Dragoon. You have to, like, basically keep them in a line and move forward as the Dragoon's coming up to attack you to get your shots. It's a little bit complicated, but it is doable, and Snow just kind of out-microed in there. Now, the Vulture comes out to actually fight the Dragoon a little bit. It doesn't have enough to end up killing that Dragoon, so you will have to pull it back and repair once again. Siege Tank is on the way. We'll see if he starts mines. Mines? Mines? No? Okay. I'm trying to figure out what TY wants to do, because we don't really see any other tech either, so it might just be a second factory. He starts a second siege tank. So it could just be like, I mean, you can do a 2 siege tank push. Okay, it is an armory. So this will probably, he's not making more Marines though. Because there's like, okay, well, is he going to go with those? They only have 1 health on him, so it's not even worth it. 1 health, you know, because the Dragoon will one-shot him. But there are pushes where you push with 1 or 2 tanks and some Marines to just pressure Protoss and see what they're doing. And I thought maybe that's what TY is going to do while going his armory, but he hasn't really shown as of yet. He does start siege mode. Wow, this is a very passive style from TY. The fact that he's going 2 siege tanks, siege mode, and armory, this is the... If Protoss had map hacks, they would literally just take like 4 Nexuses right now. I'm not even kidding. Because a build like this, you have 0 attack potential. Because first off, like a quick armor, you're just slow on units. Okay, quick siege mode. Well, quick siege mode is not good for attacking early on, only later. It's a very defensive move. And when you do these 2 in combination, you also have to get an engineering bay and turrets because you have no scouting and you have no detection and you have no anti-air. So when you put that all together, this is like, if Protoss happens to be greedy against this, you're in very tough shape because, you know, any timings that you have for a moving out, attacking, that type of thing come much, much, much later. There are some popular builds right now where Terran goes into like a 5 or a 6 fact after that very fast armory and they do a timing attack. That might be what TY is getting ready for. Looking at Snow's base, he has gone 3-gate observer into Reaver. So this is ultimately safe. Like, you are not going to die to anything in the early game with this. 3-gate obs already is just a great defensive build. Then you add in a Reaver and you add in Snow controlling that Reaver, and there's a certain level of invincibility that you have. TY, we're going to be able to figure out what his plans are in about 30 to 40 seconds. As this upgrade gets here to here, like in this range, he's going to either add a starport. Oh, there it is. Okay. Well, he actually adds it just slightly early, which is fine. It's not really a big deal. But you want to add it right around halfway, right? So maybe adding it right now as opposed to when he did, but again, doesn't really matter. But when you see the starport like that, that means that TY is going for 2-1 upgrades. So he's timed it out so that as this finishes, he's going to have his science facility and he'll get 2-1 started. A couple more factories getting started here as well. I wonder about this because I think specifically on Blitz X, quicker pushes down the center are very strong for Terran. You know, before Psystorm or anything like that, you can get through this middle area and it's really hard for Protoss to block anything. You can just kind of set up like in this, on this side, right? I'll zoom out a little bit to show, right? So if TY holds this area, you can't attack up here, and attacking around like this doesn't work because he just comes down the ramp. So you hold here and then you push to the north, you siege here, some of your tanks on the edge, and then you push up and then you hold this area, and it's the same thing. They can't really attack up. So generally that's a very, very good move. Oh my God, he's almost killing his own vulture here with the splash. But TY is definitely going for like a longer upgrade Terran-based game. Reaver coming in. Snow, of course, a magician with Reavers. Looks like he was just scouting the side of the base for now. Keeps a row of Dragoons here. This is to stop any vulture movement. We might see, yeah, a dropship coming out for TY. No big surprise there. He is such a dropship user. Definitely wants to get that dropship out and see if he can get anything done. Are you kidding me? Oh, dudded Scarab. Very lucky here that the SCV kind of moved away. That could have been a gigantic, gigantic Scarab, but definitely needs to move some siege tanks out to the front. All right, loses the bunker. He has taken some damage on the barracks as well. A little bit of SCV damage there as well. Snow always getting maximum out of his Reavers. Yeah, look at that. Bombs out his Zealot. He only had 1, though, so no real options there. Look at this. One siege tank goes a little bit too close, and he will get that pick off as well. Snow losing almost nothing, but dealing some damage already. +2, but +1 should be started shortly on the way. And, oh, God, we actually had a drop over here. Oh, I can't believe I missed that. So sorry. I was watching Snow's fancy micro. And you know what? That's what Snow was watching as well, because this tank has 6 kills and the vultures have 3 kills. So some amazing harassment here from TY, flying it up there while defending against Snow, really evening the scoreboard a bit with that. Definitely something that's exciting to see. These dropship Terrans, some of the most fun to watch, in my opinion. So this is going to make it back, very importantly. Needs to save that dropship and repair it up. A few vultures trying to come out and see what's what. Gonna go ahead and start repairing this. Gets the dropship first. He'll want to repair that tank also. And we're gonna have to see if TY just continually drops. Like, is he gonna send out another dropship? Snow is kind of getting ready for that. You can see this. Anti-drop, anti-drop, spotter. You know, getting a Nexus up here. He has this area, but nothing in it. So that could be a fantastic area to get a drop into. He does have a forge, so I think we'll see a cannon. Yeah, he throws a cannon down now. He has a cannon in his main mineral line now as well, and he is starting to get ahead on those workers once again. More probes being transferred up to this base. Another cannon being made there too. So this is only based out of cannon. This is pretty common because it's hard to get here. So you don't expect a vulture drop or a tank drop in that area. Science vessel popping out. Vultures still running around. We see vultures kind of all over the place. Let's see if we can find that dropship. I better not have missed it. No, that's just a mine. I'm looking all over the mini-map. Okay, there it is. There it is. So he has it loaded up, ready to go. He didn't even repair this tank. But he is getting ready to go. Now, he might pair this with moving out. If you pair it with moving out, there's a chance these goons move. Snow may bring everything he has to try to parry any attacks. Looks like he's going to fly through this middle. Ooh, what do we have here? All right, there is a cannon as well as some dragoons there. By the way, Judge, there's just a little bit of vulture movement over here. And not really able to get anything done. Okay, he offloads here. Now, people might look at this and say, well, you have a dropship, you have tanks and mines. Like, why not try to expand here? Speed shuttles are just better at breaking these positions, so that's not generally a Terran expansion. Now, in comes Snow. He's trying to have an engage, but actually that goes very well for TY. He's got his +2 attack. Snow hasn't done that much damage to him, and in fact, doing a great job picking off the shuttle. Oh my God. TY looking very, very good this game. Unloads his units, and as he continues to move forward, I think he's expecting the units to be pulled out. And in fact, see, notice how some of these units are being moved a little bit. These two got moved. Now, this might be to catch him, or they might be going to the front. Okay, moves over here into this position. Ah, because TY is moving up that center. This is the center I was talking about before. If you don't have Psystorm, this can be hard to deal with. Notice how Snow pulls back from that area. Notice how he's sieging up in this bigger area I was talking about before. It's pretty easy to push through here and attack. Now, normally Protoss thinks about doing counterattacks, so he may just counterattack up here. Maybe it's a flank. Maybe he counterattacks towards the main. I'm not entirely sure. Some of the tanks being caught. He is starting to hit this Nexus a little bit, by the way. I think Snow right now trying to decide if he wants to try to hit this all at once. Looks like he is going to go for a counterattack, but in the other direction. Zealots running in, and there are a lot of mines underneath these tanks, so that could get a little bit messy. TY pulls back, gets into a good defensive spot. Oh my God, TY picking off some of these High Templars. I got to tell you, he's got to be very happy with this game. Look at that supply differential. TY with more supply but less SCVs. Without a doubt, in control of this game right now. He's up on 7 factories. He's got 2-1 upgrades. No more upgrades on the way also, by the way. +1 air attack. Are we going to see some Stargates go up here? A lot of mines being laid, and in fact, TY comes out of killing that base and goes after this army that was roaming on the map. I think TY is going to be able to take this game. This really, really looks favored for him. The fact that they're on those even supplies. But let's not forget that TY never did expand again. He's still sitting here on 2 bases. Look at Snow. Snow has taken a 4th base again. He lost his 4th base, okay. But he is taking this 4th base. Some cannons going down. I think at this point, he's going to want to control the center of the map. Well, he does have Psystorm as well, so he can stop attacks through here once. Now that he's got that, right? Like that clumped up area, when Psystorm's out, you don't want to go through there anymore. Now, TY pushing out just a handful of units running away from him. Snow desperately wants TY to come in and attack these because they're not likely to do much, right? If there's any mines out, they'll just kind of run into them and die. But, you know, if you can kind of trick TY into thinking that that's dangerous, that could really slow him down and give Snow time to macro up into a big enough army to beat this down. One thing I want to mention is we have Reaver damage on the way. So Snow still looking to utilize those Reavers heavily. That is such a weird upgrade for 15 minutes into the game. Feels like it should be like 38 minutes in the game against Zerg and then no other time. Now, TY has taken this base, a perfect third base for Terran, setting up here. And maybe he'll take this as his fourth, actually. I never thought about it this way. In my own personal games and games that I think I've seen from pros, it's like this is the third, and then oftentimes this is the fourth. But this is so far back, this kind of makes more sense. And if you have this area defended like this, then this would be defended, and that becomes a free fifth base. So setting up a beautiful minefield here, roaming around a little bit with the Goliaths, setting up the siege tanks. Maybe he'll make a few missile turrets as well. There are a lot of buildable tiles in the center here. There are some up here as well. TY still macroing out heavily. He is down about 30 supply now, but that is not that big a deal. You know, when you're playing this type of style that's like Speed Shuttle, Psystorm, Reaver, some gateway units, if your opponent is turtling pretty heavily, it's really hard to kill them, especially with a good amount of anti-air in there. So I'm not really worried for TY, despite the fact that we have a higher supply count for Snow. Probably one of the scariest things are these Stargates, but look at this mine. He never did clear this mine out, so boop. He can see that Stargate if he ever goes up there and clicks. That mine, giving him that much intel, is huge. He is making more Goliaths right now. He may just scan there later. The thing is, once you scan it, Protoss will notice that, and Protoss will know that you know that they're going carriers. So that changes the way the game plays. Whereas if Protoss doesn't know that you know, if they think that you're in the dark about that, you can set up ways to punish them. Like you can quietly add more Goliaths in your army, for instance. Now, a very good setup. Not a good setup in the main. I do want to throw that out there. If Snow bombed in here with 3-4 shuttles, he would get a lot of damage. The army would have to move very far to get back here. There's no turrets, no mines, no nothing. So that's actually something I've seen a lot in TY's games. He doesn't keep that much defense in his main bases compared to other Terrans. Definitely a little bit of a weakness, but it doesn't seem like Snow has realized that this game. A lot of High Templars out here. Snow trying to take another base. There's not a lot of other bases here. He has dropped a probe off as well. You have to drop a worker to mine the minerals to get a nexus or a command center down. I know a lot of people have suggested when I've casted this map, hey, why doesn't he float a command center there? You cannot. These mineral patches need to be mined. They block it because you can't build near minerals. So you can't just float a command center. You have to have a worker go down and clear those. So picks off a High Templar there. More High Templars coming out. Some storms go down, but not that great of storms. Picks the shuttle. Really, really nice. This base not going to be going up. Not today. TY getting a very solid economy. Look at that. Another command center. Dude, this looks so good for TY. You know, I was excited when he qualified for ASL, but I'm like, I don't know. Like, how good is he actually going to look? You know, he's been playing StarCraft 2 for like 12 years. But this is some fantastic play. I can't really say anything too wrong. Like we see some things that are mistakes, like having 0 defense there. If Snow knew, he would absolutely punish that. Just, I guess he hasn't checked. You know, he's not perfect or anything, but this looks really, really strong. He's got a great setup here right now. Double shuttle Reaver flying down towards this base. Should be able to probably kill it off. Drops a couple Reavers. Gonna be able to blow that up quickly. Little drop from TY to try to hit this base, but of course the shuttle comes down and ruins that. Oh, that's funny that hit there. That's a little bug that can occur. When the tank is trying to target something else, sometimes it can shoot something right next to itself. Anyways, the tanks continue to push through the center. There are carriers on the way. There's a couple carriers out. So this game can still turn towards Snow. But TY's on 3-2 upgrades. That's pretty fantastic for fighting carriers. The map itself, though, going to be a hard one to stop carriers on once they're in good numbers, because they can always retreat over areas that the Goliaths cannot chase. So you have to have a pretty decent advantage when those carriers come out. TY pushing the center. He's actually got a lot of Goliaths. He really does know. I think at this point, Snow has to know that he knows as well, since we have like so many Goliaths in this army. A lot being made as well. TY continues to push. Loses his science vessels, unfortunately. A little bit sloppy on those hotkeys, perhaps. Snow continuing to get those carriers, making another Reaver, making some more photon cannons. Looks like he's making those cannons mostly down here. I think what Snow is planning on is slow this as much as possible, killing these bases, build up that bank, and take down here. Now, 3 dropships from TY. That is an incredibly rare thing to see in this matchup. 3 dropships. That is crazy, guys. And he's going to kill this Nexus super, super fast. Carriers may want to come down to deal with that. Maybe he thinks he doesn't have time, but he actually, I think if he flew directly down, there might have been a chance to kill this before he loses the Nexus. Maybe he thinks he needs to hide the carriers still. But that is unfortunate. I think losing this base is a huge, huge problem for Snow. I think this is one of the ways he had to really win this game. TY's income looking very, very good at the moment. Plenty of gas coming in to produce those Goliaths. Still trying to push up into this area. A lot of the Goliaths like kind of far away right now. You want to bring those up for a little bit of support against the shuttle. Maybe pick off Zealots if they try to run in as well. The 3 dropships pick up their cargo. I'm going to fly out of this area. Carriers sitting at the additional base. Snow hasn't lost much. I'm actually starting to swing what I think is going to happen. Snow is making 4 more carriers right now. Okay, let's check the upgrades. +2. No armor yet, but he is making an armor. You know, if you get up to like 8 carriers, 10 carriers, like it takes unreal amounts of Goliaths to kill them, even with great upgrades. So maybe Snow can just abuse the map heavily, heavily, heavily from here. A couple of Reavers are out, and they're going to help to pick off a lot of these Goliaths. Some very good splash damage being utilized. Uh-oh, this one without even any Scarabs right now. That plus damage, I think, doing a big job here as well. Helping to clear those off quickly. Now, he loses a couple of carriers. There was so many Goliaths there. Really unfortunate here for Snow. He is going to be able to get back up to 7. Obviously, having 9 or 10 would have been a lot better there, but he actually kills the Goliaths and is going to force the siege tanks back. He's not going to lose this base for now. Carrier count continues to grow. And he somehow held this base. So still a lot of minerals, a lot he's able to do here. TY trying to take this center left. Snow's carrier count up at 7. And he has 3 more on the way. So like 10 carriers. We're really getting those scary numbers. Now he's coming in. Not that many Goliaths right here. Psystorm goes down. He has some Zealots here as well. Drag some mines. Tank some shots from that siege tank as well. Help to kill off missile turrets. Help to kill off Goliaths. This is kind of a nail-biter right now. Snow hasn't actually taken critical damage, and he's starting to kill bases. Where are our Goliaths? 70 SCVs on the map. A pretty reasonable bank for TY. He's got a lot of units overall, but hasn't been able to shut down these bases. If he had shut down 2 of these bases, I would still be favored for him, but... Well, I mean, he's got this base as well, so the income is pretty absurd. Science vessel on the way. More factories being made. Now look at this. The carriers moving over towards this left-hand side. If he kills these siege tanks, the army can just come down. And it looks like that's what we're going to see. TY ends up GGing. But I got to tell you, this was truly an awesome game from TY. He was absolutely in control. And I actually, like, if he keeps playing of that quality and kind of grinds out some of these situations, I think he absolutely could have beaten Snow this game. And it's like a TVP on a 2-player map. It's tough already. You're against Snow. That's super tough. It's not like he got a bunch of damage early on. Like, he got a little with the harassment and everything, but so did Snow. I think the game was really lost during the push over here. He had enough units to kill this base and get this high ground and maybe fork off and kill more bases, and he just was a bit slow. Like, he was doing 3 dropships here. You know, I don't know. Snow was slowing him enough, and he didn't quite react correctly, and Snow was able to build up to that critical mass of carriers that just becomes too scary. But really a great game. I hope that you guys enjoyed, and thanks for watching.